What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks NBA Play-In Edition. Win and go home, or win and don't go home. There it is. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. It goes a long way for me on this video. It goes a long way for you. You become apprised whenever great betting content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Wild couple of games that we've had here in the association the last couple days. We had Thursday off entirely, but I'm coming back to you here. We've got all the lines out. We're ready to rock with a crazy, crazy Friday. My Minnesota Timberwolves, are they going to get it done at the Target Center? We're going to find out very, very shortly, but you got to find out about Bet365 if you're in one of these four states: Colorado, Ohio, Virginia, New Jersey. Why? Well, you bet $1, you get $200 in bet credits when you sign up, clicking on the link below, depositing $10 or more on their site, and betting $1 on anything. It could be anything I talk about here in the next, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. We'll see how long it goes. So I don't know. I'm long-winded from time to time. That's a fact. But no matter what, you're going to get yourself $200 in bet credits no matter how that bet does. So if it wins, yay, $200 in bet credits. It loses, you lose $1. Well, you're getting $200 in bet credits. See how that works? That's great. Again, Colorado, New Jersey, Ohio, Virginia. Wanted to throw it out there from the get-go. I'll have a super fast speed read like I did the other day just to get it out of the way. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER, and it's only if you're 21 and over. All right, we got to talk about DeRozan's daughter. We got to talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves and Anthony Edwards. What in God's green earth did I just witness happen in LA? Is he okay? Yeah, I think he's fine. And the emergence of Rudy Gobert coming back into our lives. What a time to be alive. We're heading to Elimination Game Central here on Friday. What a way to kick off the weekend of NBA playoff basketball. Let's get to the picks. We head to Chicago and Miami here, and I'm going to throw it out there. I should have thrown it out there at the top of this video, but we're going to do it here. We nearly swept the board. The entire board. Of course, DeMar DeRozan, his daughter, just screaming at the Toronto Raptors at the free throw line. 18 missed free throws. The Bulls move on. Zach LaVine, hell of a basketball game. Shout out to him. So give respect where respect is due. But Pascal Siakam over easy. Fred VanVleet over PRA easy. We had the late night hammer just completely cornered. That was great stuff. But yeah, we're heading to this one, and just going to say, both games, 5.5 point spreads, so nothing's really going to be all that different between both of these. Chicago, a dog, road dog. Oklahoma City, road dog. Road Dogs did a great thing on Wednesday, so we're going to find out how they do on Friday here. And let's start the analysis, just kind of going box score watching with Zach LaVine. And this is a lean play that I've got my eye on. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. That's what a lean is. Then we go to the like. That's something that I have a minimal play on. And then a lock. Yeah, those are my favorite plays from these games. But Zach LaVine under PRA is kind of what's standing out to me here, because we saw 40 minutes from him last time. He ran pretty pure in terms of foul trouble. He's a guy who's pretty good at avoiding fouls in general. We could have an argument about how much defense he plays in general, but Toronto, at the same time that Miami is slow at pace, so is Toronto. 25th in pace, 97.5 possessions per 48, and Miami 29th, so second to last in terms of pace. But they've got a lot more defensive looks that they can shift up, specifically one Jimmy Butler. And you have Max Strus out there, who's not the most defensive-minded player on planet Earth going there. Cody Martin going to probably have to play more minutes, just because, again, the defensive efficiencies you get from Max Strus from time to time. Even if Caleb Martin's going to be a complete zero out there, that switch, DeMar DeRozan playing off the ball, Zach LaVine playing off the ball, I do not expect Zach LaVine to just go out and set off an inferno here in Miami this time around. Now, in Toronto, 39, 6-3. So what about a PRA that's at 35.5? He scored more points than that against Toronto. That's an uncomfortable feeling. That's the only reason this is a lean, but it projects out nicely for me. I think Miami, Eric Spoelstra, come playoff time, I get how bad they just looked against Atlanta. It's like somebody picked Atlanta in that game too. God, the NBA playoffs have been great. Let's carry some of that over, other sports. But MLB's going better. MLB's going better. Anyway, it's not time to talk about that. It's time to really buckle down and get you to the two plays I actually like and lock in this one. And the first one is Jimmy Butler. And I think he's going to have to just be extremely offensive minded. He was out for a personal reason on Thursday. No problem. The only piece of news you're going to be paying attention to, Kyle Lowry, I expect him to be playing. Gabe Vincent, I expect him to be playing back pain. No, he's going to be playing basketball. There's no doubt about it. But Jimmy Butler, he's going to have to carry the offense just like he tried to do. 6 for 19 from the field last time against Atlanta. That was an up-pace spot. Well, this is also going to be not up in pace. Everything's up in pace when you're Miami playing at the second slowest pace in all of basketball. But Bulls, not exactly crazy speed demons. 98.7 possessions per 48 minutes. But the thing I kind of key in on, that's the word I'm looking for. Chicago does have a really good defensive front, specifically Alex Caruso with 100 EPM in the defensive department over on dunks and threes. That's really good stuff. Because the scale goes from 1 to 100. Still, Alex Caruso, while he was not exactly able to slow down Fred VanVleet by any means, again, it's going to be a completely different matchup you're looking at on this side of it. Jimmy Butler in Miami, how many times have we seen this where he just puts the team on his back, does everything he possibly can? And while I think the Bulls have a pretty live shot at this one, and I don't have an outright play on this one, I do think we just take Jimmy Butler over 26.5 points. It's minus 115 at pretty much every single book right now. I think that's right on the cusp of playable. If it starts moving to the minus 120 or greater territory, that's when you start pumping the brakes here. I don't want to be paying too much juice on this play because my lock is my favorite play on the entire board for Friday. And this is the one that showed up in the premium Discord, which you can sign up for below, against Toronto. But I think we just absolutely nailed what Chicago was going to do rotation-wise. You want Alex Caruso on the floor in must-win games. Just talked about it. EPM, in terms of defensive estimated plus-minus, he is the best defender in the NBA, which sounds crazy to some people because he's not the biggest body, but the Lakers, they definitely saw a drop-off defensively, and part of that was Alex Caruso holding it together in the bubble. Very, very underrated part. I mean, he's just a guy who's pretty quiet, just goes about his business and goes out and smashes. But one thing that happens when you start seeing 31 minutes out of nowhere like we saw, well, it wasn't out of nowhere because I had him for 30 minutes on the dot, is that you project out his rebounds and assists to just come along for the ride. Now, I ended up adding points plus assists last time around, but now the juice is inside of minus 110 on this play over at Caesars Sportsbook. It is the over of 5.5 rebounds plus assists. I've been projected for 8.2. That is a huge discrepancy when you're talking about rebounds and assists. Now, points, because of the variability of them, that wouldn't be as large of a gap. But we're talking rebounds and assists. I've got him for almost 4 rebounds. I have him for over 4 assists. That is wild stuff. You don't run into bets like this very often in the postseason. I'm a little bit surprised. Now, I get why the number is that way, but I said it before. Miami is just about as slow as what Toronto is. I mean, they're slower than Toronto, but it's a comparable matchup. It's a comparable spot. I don't get why the books aren't hanging this minus 110 and greater. So if you can find 5.5 rebounds plus assists, the same number I did here at Caesars, minus 104, this is my favorite play on the day on Friday. No questions asked. He's going to be on the floor a boatload because Alex Caruso is just flat out good. I said I was going to do it fast, and this is flat out good too. Bet $1, get $200 over at Bet365. You deposit $10 or more at the video description box below if you live in one of these great 4 states, New Jersey, Ohio, Virginia, Colorado. And when you do that, you bet $1, you get $200 in bonus bets when you bet on anything with that dollar. No questions asked. It's only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER, okay? That was amazing, wasn't it? Do-do-do-do-do. Mana-mana. Do-do-do-do. All right, next game. Had to add some time, for the YouTube algorithm, do the whole thing for the people, but part of it is just nervous energy, if we're going to be dead honest about this. The Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Rudy Gobert questionable with a back injury, but pretty sure he's playing basketball unless he's just bad Rudy, being sent to detention. Make $41 million and sit in the principal's office. Tisk, tisk. Mr. Belding. From I Say by the Bell, people. Just saying. Anyway, the Thunder. That was such a fun basketball game against New Orleans the other night. And shout out Josh Giddey for, flat out being that dude for a night. 42 minutes. 10 assists, 9 rebounds, 31 points. Another guy, 50 PRA. Why am I trying to force these in? But again, it just projects out so low, and I get the minutes allotment. You're going to play your guys as much as possible in these must-win spots. And Josh Giddey looked fantastic. Josh Giddey did everything he possibly could to win that basketball game, and they did. SGA came on in the second half, but Josh Giddey was pretty much the glue that held it all together. And in the same way that I'm looking at shorting the star of that, well, I'm not shorting DeMar DeRozan's daughter. I mean, she's going to be screaming from her elementary school or whatever it is because she's not going to the game this time around. Why would you not fly her first class to Miami for that game? Anyway, we're beside the point. Let's go back to Minnesota and OKC. I'm looking at shorting Josh Giddey, 36.5 PRA. It's currently minus 108 over at Caesars Sportsbook as well. I have him around 33.9. It's not a huge discrepancy, but again, I'm trying to find these plays for you. I think if the juice can move just a little bit, like if we could get that to around minus 105, even money, I would be very interested in this. Maybe people take the overs. Minnesota, this game is going to be playing up in pace, about that pace, no treble, that's for sure. In Minnesota, especially if Rudy Gobert's not playing, just throwing it out there. But 101 possessions per 48, it's 10th in the NBA. And OKC, we know they play like speed demons. 101.6 possessions per 48, third in the NBA, just behind Golden State and San Antonio, who will never be heard from again, especially if they don't get Victor Wembanyama. But Josh Giddey, I find this number to be a little bit too high. Just haven't bet it yet. I hope it improves by tomorrow. All right. Well, we went from a star of a game to an absolute dog of a game. Oh, Anthony Edwards. Ant-Man. He played small, too. It's a Marvel joke. But either way, Anthony Edwards, pretty positive that you can't play worse than what he did. 43 minutes. Yes, the overtime game. It was incredible to watch. Even it was a terrible brand of basketball towards the end of it. But 0 for 9 from 3. Do you know the last time that he got blanked from 3? Go ahead. Go ahead and guess. January 6th is the last time that he didn't hit a 3 in a basketball game. Look at the research department coming in strong. But either way, Anthony Edwards sharing the floor with Karl Anthony Towns, getting Rudy Gobert back in the mix, taking off Taurean Prince. I would keep playing him based on what we saw in LA, that's for sure. Ride the hot hand come this time of year. It's just like college coaching. I mean, it's what it is. It's elimination game style. You play the guys that are playing the best, who can keep it going for you here. But Anthony Edwards, he's your dude. He's my dude. He's the Minnesota Timberwolves dude. The usage has been through the roof here. I do expect it to be a little bit more muted. That's not a word, but I have him projected around 29.2. Odd Shopper also is in congruence with this, so we're aligned, and I love when I'm aligned with the premium tools over at oddshopper.com. You can also find that in the video description box below, but 26.5 points, minus 120, points bet. That is the number here. I think it's I guess we're prioritizing him. It's my second favorite play on the card outside of what we're going to get to. Well, no, third favorite play. Alex Caruso is definitely number 1. Jam that to the moon. I'm annoyed with myself too. All right, let's get to the lock from this game. And as much as I love my Minnesota Timberwolves, I am not biased when it comes to money. It just is what it is. Oklahoma City, they're really impressive. And think about this. If they had Chet Holmgren right now, where would they be? We're talking about one of the biggest anomalies. He's a Minnesota boy for what it's worth, too. Shout it out. Look at that. Shout it out now. But Minnesota, he's not going to be playing basketball there, which is a bummer. He won a lot of state titles at the Target Center once upon a time. But every single player in their starting 5 is under 25 years old. And they have 15 first-rounders over the next 4 years. What in the world, Sam Presti? Their GM, Sam Presti, deserves all the awards and all the land because this OKC team is young, they're hungry, they're fun, and they're spearheaded by SGA, who I think comes out of the gate running right off the bat. Mike Conley, as solid as he's been, he's 35. Staying in front of one SGA, going to be a big task there. The Jalen Williams I find to be pretty interesting. Again, that's plural for the Jalen Williamses. I feel pretty good about both of them. And if you guys were watching the TFS product, talked about the center Jalen Williams. He came to fruition. So did Jonas Valanciunas. That was a smash. Another good lock. Why did Toronto money line lose? But Oklahoma City is going to get it done for us in this department. Now, maybe this is a little bit of wishful thinking, and I might dabble the same way that I dabbled on the OKC money line. Ended up betting them. Yes, everybody in the premium Discord, very happy, which was good because the Wednesday baseball card was very roller coaster-esque. But this one is straight out money. Oklahoma City plus 5.5. Give me the points. I need the points here. I get it. Maybe I'm the cowardly lion here. And again, I might fire a little bit of money line here because it does project out all right. But this projects out really, really nicely. I don't know what to make of Minnesota, but they have all the pressure and all the land on them. That feels like very... it's not the best piece of analysis that I can give you, but I can tell you one thing. Minnesota will be rocking. But Minnesota sports fans, we are nervous by nature. We're broken people. We're not happy in our lives. We are not okay because our teams find new and interesting ways to disappoint us every time. So there's no way that I'm not taking the plus 5.5 and at least benefiting from that. Oh, and it also, I had this game closer to 3. So OKC, I love what they're doing. Looking at shorting Josh Giddey, but I think SGA has himself a night. I think the Jalen Williams eye are great. Does Lou Dort make 94 threes this time around? Probably not, but Oklahoma City spread feels really, really good. Minnesota's going to a thin bench. Yeah, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jalen Noel, those guys had to play a little bit more, but Rudy Gobert back in the mix. Don't know if it's necessarily a good thing. You know what I'm talking about. Oklahoma City spread plus 5.5. My favorite play from the nightcap. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks NBA edition. Head to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays for Friday's crazy slate. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be a nervous wreck, that's for sure. So make me happy. Check out Bet365. Also, make yourself happy. $200 in bet credits. That's ridiculous. So deposit $10 or more when you're in one of these 4 states: Colorado, New Jersey, Ohio, Virginia. Bet $1, get $200 in bet credits, and then you're guaranteed a winning day, which I am not, because I am sad and I'm not in one of those 4 states. Might have to go on a road trip if Minnesota loses on Friday, but is what it is. Go Oklahoma City plus 5.5. Hope you lose by 1. That's what I'm hoping. That's good stuff. But until next week, you guys know the deal. The playoffs, first round, Eitan Shanders got you covered for game 1 of everything going on in the association for Saturday and Sunday. I'll be back on Monday per usual with NBA, with MLB, with all of the things. Until then, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Friday.